Hey everybody, it's Naomi
And Steve,
from Into the Unknown Realm. We are actually here right now with Joey Mayhem, the author of Bones in the Basement.
the reason why we were here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're excited. She actually had a moment to spend with us to kind of promote her book, and we're going to have her on our show first Monday in September. I believe it's September 3rd. So we're excited about that.
So you must listen.
Yeah. So your book signing went very well today.
It went very well. The turnout was amazing, and it was fun getting to talk to everybody. So many people that had a part in the book and sharing the experience. It was great.
So what actually made you decide to do this? To do the bones in the basement?
Well, I've been drawn to the Victorian for a long time, since about 2010. Actually, before they even purchased the house, I knew of the house, and I was biding my time to get in, and I found a way to, come in and investigate and become friends with Edward and Lillian. And a lot of us were sitting around trying to figure out a way that we could help with some of the fundraising that's needed for the repairs. And if you look around, you see there's some stuff that definitely needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were coming up all these ideas, car wash, and I don't know, there was all kinds of weird suggestions. And I said, well, I just finished Soul Collector, and it was doing pretty well. And I said, I can write a book. And it turned out to be a very ambitious project because as you get into something like that, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And there were a lot of people that had parts in it. And so I started interviewing people. And it just, I finally had to cut off the interviews because it got to a point where I need to finish this book, and it was getting bigger and bigger. So I am donating half the profits to Edwin and Lillian, and I gave them a big chunk of change today from the signing, and so it's great. Yeah, they made it really good, really good. So yeah, good stuff.
That's nice. I always love to hear about people helping other people, and not
Preserving the history of places.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, not to me, doing it for your own self welfare. I mean, that's nice and helping others, but at the same token, I mean, this is out of the kindness of your heart. I mean, yeah, you guys all heard that. That was a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I felt that. I felt it in the floor. But anyways, I mean, you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart to help these people, and that's awesome.
You heard that too, right?
Yeah, why don't you go check that out, MJ? If you don't come back, we'll know they got you.
And reading your book, it is so well written,
thank you.
and I loved it. I messaged you through the first 10 chapters. I'm like, I love the first chapter, and then I went on to the next. And, it was so good. I love reading it. And then I went camping and actually sat by the water and just read it and read it until I'm like, people come up and talk to me. I'm like, no, I got to read this. Leave me alone. This is so good.
Well, they had quite a story to tell, so it was a matter of capturing all that, because when people would come to the house to get a tour and Edward would tell them their stories, and I thought, I think we should write all this stuff down.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of what I did. I started, I knew the stories inside and out, from being here a few times. But I just sat down and started, and then I started thinking, well, a lot of these other people had experiences too. And, people like Bill Wallace had a big role in the house, or Marion Luoma, or Tina Obi.
Yeah.
They all had big roles. And then I started getting into the investigations, like Lucky Bel Camino, or, Mark Avila and Lauren Sheridan. And, I wish I could have interviewed you guys too, but, maybe it'll be a second part two.
Definitely.
Oh,
Good.
Nothing paranormal.
Well, I mean, it still could happen. We have friends in here with us now.
I'll tell you, just from us being in the house, and a lot of the tours today have been given on the first floor, and we actually had the opportunity to come up to the second, and just even in the third. I mean, we've had our own personal experiences today. And I got the recorder going on in the hallway. We're open, so to add to our experiences that we've already had
from last year.
It's just an amazing house, and it's more than a house. It's more than wood and windows and stone. There's a soul, there's a pulse here, and you feel it. You feel it when you drive by, and you see so many people. You can sit here and look out the window right now and watch people drive by, and probably at least half of them look up at the house and they're like looking at the windows, wondering what they're going to see.
Right. It's funny because when we were here a year ago, I did notice that everybody that drove up, they're just like looking and looking at, and then looking at us, and then looking and looking at, driving by, and they're like, and it was like everybody, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
And I was one of those people, I'm trying to think, it was like probably, they bought the house in 2008, so it was when it was for sale. It was for sale for 2 years. It was like 2006, 2007 when I first saw the house, and I was like, oh my gosh, of course I knew, being a paranormal junkie, that the house had been on ghost hunters. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the house, and it's for sale, and I wanted
it.
Honestly, if I didn't already have a house, I would have bought it in a heartbeat, but I was already, in a mortgage, so it was not possible. And I'm glad that I didn't, because my story comes in a lot later, and I was able to have a different part in it, and it's been an amazing experience.
So you guys, you definitely, first of all, have to buy the book and read it, and then read it by September 3rd, because that's when we're going to have our interview airing with Joni. So make sure you check that out on that Monday at 8 p.m. at www.dtmwickedradio.com/ITUR, and listen in on the great interview we're going to have with Joni and all the great stories that she has to tell with us. So we will see you then.
See ya.